Day live. Full disclosure, next Monday I will not be here. I have an appointment for makeup, so I won't be here next Monday unless something happens, and then I will, and I'll put it in the comment. What is it? Something. Anyways, hi, hello, how are you? We're gonna do makeup today. We're gonna talk about large pores today because I have a product I tried and it came up in conversation for some makeup I was doing. I'm gonna wait for some people to get on so that we can get started. I'm doing smart makeup today too. Oh, I haven't even changed my outfit. I meant to find an outfit for today and I haven't even done that. So in the comments, I will be putting, hello Lisa, I will be putting a picture of the final look because right now I'm wearing my pajamas. My brain is a bunch of goop, and so I didn't get to. Good morning, Anne. Hello. I love seeing my people popping in. All right, so we're gonna do makeup today. I'm gonna do smart makeup, and I'm gonna finalize by putting in my halo. A lot of people ask me about my hair. This is my hair. I have very fine, thin hair, and it's finally starting to regrow from a lot of breakage that I had. It is taking me a very long time of just taking really good care. I'm trying not to put a lot of heat on it, but today I have a meeting and it's just one of those things that maybe it's a trauma response. I don't know. Hello, Alice. Hello, Victoria. You love PJs. Me too. I got my Saint sweats on and I got my t-shirt, long sleeve. Anyways, I love this. It's just t-shirt and sweats. Thank you. So we're going to zoom in and cut out all the garbage that's around in my room. I still haven't put Valentine's Day away. And the bin is over here. Those are there. Anyways, we're going to ignore the mess. It's such a mess back there. Anyways, I've noticed that when my hair is, I did an experiment. This is where this stems from. Back in the 90s, I went to a trade school and they had us do a test on businesses where we made a list of different businesses and they had us dress one way and go to these businesses and just take mark on how we were talked to, how we were treated, customer service, that kind of thing. And then they had us go back to the same exact stores in a different outfit and mark how, and one was just casual, kind of sloppy, curly hair. And then the next day I went in, dressed a lot nicer, hair done, makeup done better, just better care. And the treatment was quite different, the way people, how quickly people would come up to want to help you. And I went to clothing store, all these things. So this stemmed, and this is probably why some of us are the way they are. Like, I don't let my kids wear sweats to school. I have a way of like, dress for where you want to be, not where you are, not where you think you could go. Dress for where you want to be. And present yourself in a way that makes you feel the most confident. But I've noticed that dressing the way that makes me feel the most confident also comes with the way I'm spoken to, the way that I'm treated. And I have found that when my hair is straight and my makeup is done well and not overdone, but done, I get treated smarter. Mainly men, but women do this too. Women will treat women differently based off of their appearance. It's just the way it is. And I say this all the time, like, your presentation gets you in the door, your personality keeps you in the room. This goes with work, this goes with relationships, this goes with everything. And so this goes with school. Go ready to learn, go ready to work. Anyway, so that's where I'm going today. But I also like to do other things and talk about other things. So smart hair, don't care. This is just what it is. It is what it is. That's life. Get used to it. All right, get a helmet. All right, I am going to be doing primer today. We are keeping understated makeup as far as eyeshadow goes. And I'm going to use my favorite primer. This is Singen's Shadow Sense. The color is Candlelight. They changed the packaging. It's a little bit prettier. And then I'm going to be using my Beauty Society Oval Fluff Brush. And I always have a separate brush for prepping my lids. I have a lot of eye discoloration. I am going to post my before and after in my feed afterwards, and you're going to see what I'm talking about, because in my before picture, I have better lighting where it's more natural lighting, and you're going to see my lash primer is amazing. However, it is discoloring, and I use Babe Lash. I swear by it. I love it. It gives new growth, and that, if you know, you know, I like volume. And if you are looking to regrow some lashes from glue-ons, extensions, Babe Lash is amazing. I get it as Christmas gifts for people. It's good, but it does create eye discoloration. All right, we're gonna just cancel some of this discoloration out and get started. I always do my eye makeup first, especially with the colors I'm gonna be using today. I'm gonna stick to the old classics, and which is oak. I love me some oak. All right, I am just pressing this out and it just cancels look at how nice and even toned that is. All right, and then we're just gonna push this out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you have any questions about what I'm using, I did already pre-link the primer and the setting spray I'm gonna be using today, and it is by Benefit. I did a bride, was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago? And she has larger pores and she just felt that she noticed her pores a bit. And I do put on for brides makeup a little on the heavy side, but pictures are pictures. And so I went to Ulta to find something, and I found something, obviously. Ulta's got almost everything. Okay. How cute is this mug? I got it for St. Patty's Day / Easter. I found it at TJ Maxx for $8. You got 2. It was so good. So keep an eye out at your TJ Maxx. Okay, I am going to go into my eyeshadow here. We're going to stick with Cupcake first, as my primer powder blends best on powders. You know me, warm and cool like peanut butter jelly, so we're going to be doing that. And I think this is a great go-to-work look because I'm using it as a go-to-work look because I'm working today. I volunteer, but it's work. I think I talked about this at the last one. I'm planning our marathon in our town this year. My husband's been doing it for a long time, and I finally decided to fix the things that were tripping my trigger. So I joined the committee, and here we are. All right, so I'm taking Drift, pressing that up top. Back in the day when I did just work makeup, the only place I put shimmer was right here. The only place, and that's the only place I'm gonna put it today. Just as just a little peekaboo, peekaboo. And then I'm gonna go in with Butterscotch. This is a nice warm brown, similar to Leo. I think it has a little bit of depth to it. I'm gonna go in with the eyeshadow brush. I'm just gonna tap this on, and I'm just gonna push this up here, just for a little dimension. Okay. Let's see, if you're reading my review, how little redness on your face. I have very little redness on my face. This is scarring, but I'm gonna cover it. It's no big deal. Redness is no big deal. I do try to be a little more realistic. If I think that my makeup is gonna cover everything, that just wouldn't be realistic. Sometimes stuff pokes through. And that's just the name of the game because I purely rely on makeup to cover my stuff. I don't do anything else to change it. Okay, so I've got Butterscotch up here. It's a nice, natural, warm brown, very warm brown. Kind of similar to the shirt. I do like the oranges. Okay, next I'm gonna go into my favorite oak. I've been using this since day one. And before I was using Saint, I was getting colors like this anyways. What I like about Saint is it's all customizable. Everything is magnetic, you get different size palettes and you can create. My favorite palette is this new guy right here. And it's because you can create the perfect eyeshadow palette in one layer and you can hold 12 different eyeshadows. It's amazing. Okay, we're gonna cover all the rest of the stuff up, but you should always do your eyeshadow first, especially when you're using a color like oak. It is cool toned and it very much resembles a shadow. And so if it falls out onto your makeup, it's gonna give the illusion you have deep set eyes when you may not. So always do your eyeshadow first. If you're not in the habit, make the habit, put a Post-it up so you don't forget, okay? I'm gonna take oak and I'm putting this all over my lid. All over my lid, and then I'm gonna work this up and out. And that's all I'm gonna do for my eyeshadow today. I'm gonna go on the small end of the eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna go down here and I'm just gonna add some smokiness. I've always brought it around and I might change my mind at the end. I always say, do your eyeshadow and then make up your mind once everything else is on, because eyeshadow can look quite rough. Sometimes it's kind of like hair. Hair can look rough, and then once you get your makeup on, everything just kind of pulls together. So hold off any judgments until I get the whole full meal deal on. All right, so again, just putting oak all over using a fluffy brush so it's still somewhat light, but going with that warm tone of Butterscotch, is beautiful. I like warm and cools. I've said it from the beginning. Okay, grabbing this and we're going underneath to add smokiness. And we can rein it in if we get it too heavy, too thick. All right, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna grab Cupcake again. We're just gonna rub this onto the more dense end, and I'm just going to tap this into the inner corner just to add a little lightness, but not shimmer. And it'll just open the eye up. Very nice, very easy, very simple, and this is a great go to work look. All right, next we're gonna grab some eyeshadow. I saw a video and I haven't tried it yet, but let's see, for eyeliner, it got very flat and it's such a fat pencil. So what I do is I'm gonna look down and I'm basically gonna draw on my eyeball, but I'm pushing the side onto my waterline. This stuff doesn't budge. I have not found an eyeliner that goes on the waterline so well and doesn't transfer and doesn't come off. So again, looking down at a mirror and then just going over. But I did see where somebody froze their liner, and while it was frozen, they sharpened it and it was awesome. Okay, gonna take the same thing and we're gonna waterline down. I need a mirror. All right, so nice thing is you could do this one-handed, sort of. So we're just gonna pull that away from the eye and we're just gonna waterline. All right, and I don't mind hitting my lashes a bit because I'm gonna grab my etch brush and I'm gonna smoke this out. Okay, so having something that sets is key, and then having a nice etch brush right here, this is gonna help you grab and pull. And then we're just gonna smoke this into that oak a bit. It's a really, and then it'll set and stay. So it won't run down and crease at all, okay? Now I have some fallout. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know how well you can see, but look at my skin. My skin has stuff. This is real person skin. I got a new ring light and it is bomb.com because you can see I've got a little scar from I scratched myself in my sleep. I have old acne scarring. I've got eyeshadow fallout. Just take a fluffy brush. Just gotta grab mine. We're just gonna sweep this off. But my skin has problems. I've got discoloration all around my eyes. I've got it all over my face. And I'm not doing anything about it, but this is real life, real people's skin. But also, nobody should be looking at you this close unless I'm zooming in and letting you. If anybody is that close to your face, ask them to step back, please, because they're not doing. Yikes, personal space is a thing. Mind it, please. Okay. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my liquid liner, my Stila Stay All Day. I did not link this, and I should have. If there's a way for me to do it after, I will. I do also have it linked in the description of this video. Stila, this is a Stay All Day waterproof eyeliner. I'm gonna skip the middle. We're just gonna work on the inside outside of it. But this is just a little more clean lined, but I get the inner part of my eye. And this is just great for if you have hooded eyes. Now, again, a lot of people tell me I don't have hooded eyes, but from the front, you're right, I don't look like it, but from the side, it's just a good heavy droop. But I bring that eyeshadow up and out, which helps to camouflage it, but it's still there. Okay, so we're gonna go on the outer part of the lid here, and we're just going to meet the lash line and go straight out. And this is gonna give our eye extra lift, but because I have that deep pull of a hood over here, I keep my liner within it, which means it's tiny but mighty, and I don't do the bat wing, dramatic wing. I'm doing my makeup in a simple way that keeps me looking clean and professional for work, okay? And so just doing this is gonna help give my eye a little bit of lift, but I'm staying within that eye crease. But do you see the way the shape of the eye, just adding that little bit, adds lift? I talk about this on every single live. I do my eyes and my face on my lives, and they're always a bit long. So just stay tuned because this part takes probably the longest is my eyes. The rest just goes on really quick. If I'm, to be honest, on the weekends or the days I'm not doing videos, which I haven't been able to get on and do as many, I skip my eyes lately. I've been keeping it extra simple, and I'm gonna do a video on it. I just haven't had the time. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the mascara, which I also didn't link, and I should have. It's also by Benefit. This right here is Benefit Fan Fest. It's my favorite mascara because it adds volume, which also will look like I'm gonna connect this eyeliner to this eyeliner, and it's gonna look like it's going all the way across. And so we just grab this. It has a nice thick bristle, and we're gonna wiggle this at the base of our lashes on the outside and lift. Going in the middle, we wiggle, 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 lift, wiggle, 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 lift. Here's one thing. You can watch, I wouldn't call myself an influencer, but I could be, I don't know. But watching somebody use the same product for a long period of time means they're not doing it for the money. Benefit doesn't send me anything, pay me anything. I just like the product. So just a full warning, am I turning it down if they ask? Absolutely not. But they do have a lot of really great products. I also found, because I was a big fan of their Hoola bronzer, I actually used to get so tan back in my 20s that I could use it as my face powder. I was a little bit of a sun baby, which is probably why my skin skins the way it skins. All right, but they have a cream version of it now, and I want to try it so bad. Okay, maybe if they want to send it to me, because right now I have a great bronzer with Saint. All right, it does remind me of the Hoola. All right, we're gonna just building at the base first, and now it's starting to get a little bit thick, so now I'm gonna come down on the top to the tips, roll and pull away, roll and pull away, and this is just gonna coat the tips of the lashes. But having a nice full lash with mascara makes them look more full, and mine are as fine as my hair. And now it's a nice full lash and a nice long natural looking lash. And there it is, from here to here. You get to see all of them. It doesn't make them look like tarantula legs. You could if you wanted to. I do want to add more to my waterline, but I'm gonna let this dry first. Okay, over onto the other side, just reloaded. We're just gonna wiggle, wiggle, lift. Wiggle, oop, there's some goop on there and I don't want to hit my face. All right, wiggle, wiggle, lift, wiggle, wiggle, lift. And again, we're just doing this to coat our lashes, and then we're able to make them look fuller than they actually are. And you do this up until it feels, Jackie, I need the magnifying side. Okay, there we go. Now I feel like I'm doing the right thing. All right, wiggle, wiggle, lift, wiggle, wiggle, lift. Then we go down, coat the tips, roll away, coat the tips, roll away, and then we go back up. You want to do this because it's training your lashes to grow up and out, okay? All right, so we're just going to push around, push around, push around, and then I'm going to get my lower lashes. My lower lashes. I don't do a lot. I just do a little light coating. And then we're pretty much done. I want to add a little bit more waterline to this eye because I noticed a spot got missed. So we're just going to catch it. There we go. Done. All right. Now we can go on and move on to the face. I don't know why I fluffed my hair forward, but I did, and I just realized I didn't bring the clip to hold my hair up. So I don't know how I'm gonna put my fake hair in, but we're gonna try this little doohickey. There we go. Out of the face, we are going to be using the Porefessionals by Benefit Pore Primer. So this is really great if you have larger pores, which I do here. But I always say try the travel size first, which is what I got, because if you're trying anything new, you should try the travel size first. My two things are here, the Porefessional Super Setter and their primer. These two together are gonna be great. But to make this last, I'm gonna spot treat with this. So first thing, I'm gonna grab my Milk Hydro Grip and I'm gonna put it pretty much everywhere else it needs to go. So my forehead, and I just lightly bring it around my face. I'm skipping here. This is where my pores are, and my nose. So I'm just gonna bring this down the neck, or up the neck. You should always roll up. But my forehead doesn't have large pores, but use this as a spot treat if you're using the travel size. Otherwise, I say go for it, okay? Thank you so much, Broadleaf. Woo! All right, we are gonna take the Porefessionals, and I'm gonna just use a foundation brush that I've had for years, and I'm just gonna add a little bit on, not a lot, and I'm gonna go over where my pores are. And then I'm gonna come up and over my nose. This does not have a tint to it, doesn't add any tinting. It does have perfume in it, if that is something that'll bother you. Grabbing a little more, we're just going over the large pores. I think this is the best way to apply it rather than fingers. That way the product I put on here is all, and I'm not mixing with what I've had on my hands before. So we're just gonna put this on as a great spot treater. If this was a big bottle, I'd probably just slather it everywhere. All right, there we go. And now I can go on and I'm gonna do my makeup. The other nice thing that I will say about having large pores is having something to help. This is not this tiny little thing. How often do I use it though? Do I use what? Are you talking about the primer? This is my pores. I do okay because of what I used to prep with. This is just something my bride brought up, so it made me investigate, and I got this so that when I do her makeup this summer, I'll have something that I know I can stand behind. I always will test on me before I test on somebody. So there we go. The next thing I'm going to use to help hide my pores is, and it will correct some of this scar redness that I have, is going to be my Aspen color. So here's Saint. This is the makeup that I used. I love it. It's customizable. I've been using this stuff for 6 years. If anybody's ever used the same makeup for 6 years, truth be told, they probably love it. Okay, so I'm going to be using some of these colors. You will use 100% of the products. You need a proper color match. If you have large pores and you don't have a proper color match, they will be enhanced. And you don't want to put anything too dark or too light on large pores because it's going to compromise them and they will look accentuated rather than just enhancing the texture of our skin. Your pores can work for you. Using a good cream makeup can give you that luminosity. The primer, I would probably use this if I knew I was going to take pictures, but if I have a bride with pores, I will use it on every bride. I just don't find that my pores, they're just not one of the things that I wear. I always say, what are the 3 things that are important to you? And everybody's 3 things are different. For me, it's my hyperpigmentation because like I was saying earlier, I have a lot of hyperpigmentation coming in. It's around my eyes, it's coming up my face, it's down here. So that's 1. 2 is my scarring. I get very insecure about my scarring on the apples of my cheeks. And then my 3rd is my under eyes. So those are my 3. I never want somebody to pick more than 3 because typically when you correct one of those things, it does minimize another. Those are my 3. Some people, it's their pores. Some people, it's their under eye texture. Everybody's is different, and those are my 3. And so if pores were important to me, I'd be using that more often. But I find that what I'm currently using works great for me. This was something I was testing, and if it's a problem for one, it's a problem for others, and I wanted to show it. Okay, we're gonna go in with the Shape brush. This is my favorite brush for correcting. We're gonna go into Aspen. This is a gray, dense contour. This is going to help hide my pores, which is why I don't feel like I need this primer. But for me, doing this works just fine. For her, she just wanted something more, and I found something. All right, so this is gonna correct my redness. It's gonna camouflage my pores. It's gonna take care of this little scar, and I have redness around my nose. So this is gonna correct it. I'm not turning my skin gray. I am going to be muting, so you'll still see spots. It's the tone. It's like TV. You'll still watch the show, but the volume's gone. Okay, we're gonna go in, we're not gonna grab a lot, we're just gonna grab a little, and then I'm gonna take this red and we're just going to turn it down, just like that. It's that easy. All right, I'm gonna bring some down under my chin here where I get red, and I have this little thing right here, so we're just gonna mute that too. All right, this is just a mute. You still see it, it's just turned down. All right, grabbing a little more, over here, grab that red, turn the volume down. Going around the nose now with what's left. And then I'm gonna hit my tip for that little dot right there. Now, volume down, okay? Turning the red volume down. All the problems are still there, the volume's down. And this is going to give me a nice dense base, so it's gonna hold what I put on top of it. So the way you apply after this is really important. If you're swirling into it, you're going to compromise the corrector. You want it to stay where it is, but you also want it to hold what's on top. So a light hand and a light brush. All right, the next color I'm gonna go into is this brown tone that's really, you can see all my trees. It's a brown tone, it's a walnut. It's a contour, shade color is walnut. This works really well with hyperpigmentation that's around the skin. Okay, so we're gonna use the same brush. We're just gonna press into this. I need to get another one, but I wanna use everything. Okay, we're gonna go in and I'm gonna, instead of covering, I'm going to turn my skin a similar tone, which will then hide it. But then when I lay my makeup on top, which this is a contour, this is a bronzer, this is a blush area, they won't grab and pull it through the makeup. So I'm just going to turn my skin a similar tone. All right. Same thing on the other side of the face. This is my bad side. And I'm going to get this guy hidden by going around him. And then I'm going to get these guys. And then I'm going to come up. And I'm just, again, you still see it. We're camouflaging. You still see it if you look. But this is going to help with the longevity of my makeup. I'm going to get through my meetings. I'm going to feel my best. I'm going to look my best. And then I'm going to act my best. Again, the presentation gets you in the door. Personality's got to keep you in the room. So I just need to present to get in, to be taken seriously, because people don't take me seriously. It's just the way of the world. I'm okay with it. Everybody, I'm okay. People give me the sads whenever I say this to them. It's like, it's okay. And maybe by now I could be wrong. This is just something I've been dealing with since my teens. People have always treated me kind of like a dummy, and that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. It's just as I used to be mad about it. I love the phrase, I'm not as dumb as I look. I've used that a couple of times in some of my meetings. That's when you know you're tripping my trigger a little bit. So simmer sauce it down. All right, under eyes. That's, again, one of my 3. So I'm going to take this balm. Everything is customizable. Everything fits into a palette. All palettes are different sizes. And we are just going to hydrate the under eye. But I have fine lines that have come in. They climb down, they climb up. It's like bat wings. Me too. Thank you, Victoria. And this helps with creasing in those areas. If I ever find that I've applied too much and there is creasing, it all resets with your finger. I have maturing skin. It's not as mature as some, I know, but it is maturing, especially around my eyes this year. Thank you, 45. I am 45. And having a makeup with movability, if you have a makeup that doesn't have movability and it's creasing and then you're tapping it out, you're chipping it off, and then you get that chipped look, you get that crepey look, and we don't want that. So any concealer you use, prep with some kind of a balm, and that will help with that. Okay, now we're gonna go in and correct some of this darkness that bothers me. I'm gonna use a blush color called Frenchie. I use this all the time. And I'm just going to press this up and into that balm. So they work together, and this just cancels out some of that darkness. And this is just my prep. This is how I prep. And on a normal day, this takes me 30 seconds. This is not, I just talk a lot. I was told that I need to take my 15 sentences and make them 3. And I said, that's just not possible. Can you imagine how boring these lives would be if I just didn't talk? Okay, now we're gonna get into just makeup. A proper color match is key. So send me your makeup-free selfie. We can get you some makeup, get you properly matched, because if you've got stuff, one, you've got to be realistic about your makeup. It's makeup, not magic. So expecting to put something on and have it never move again, not realistic, especially if you have stuff. I always call the things on your face that you pick your stuff. Everybody's got stuff. Some wear it differently than others. One of my stuff is my stuff on my face, and being realistic. If I'm not checking my makeup, things could pull through, and that's just what it is, okay? Thank you very much. It's gonna look so good at the end. The eyeshadow is going to look so good at the end. All right. We're gonna go in and do makeup, and I'm gonna put on my main shade first. So I am the color Athens right now, and we're gonna put this on. And again, here's the thing with these 80% pigmentation. They're $16 a color. Okay, that's affordable and well pigmented. It's good makeup. Makeup will always look like makeup no matter what you do, but it should look like good makeup. And we all know what that other makeup can look like, and there's tips and tricks to make that work. But having a high pigment, any other cream makeup you see is about 40% pigmentation. It's also about twice as much. There's nothing wrong with that, but you will have to put more on to get what you want. This allows you the ability to have an affordable makeup, but you can get the same coverage with less product on your face, and the way your skin will feel and look is pretty, I would call, unmatched. especially at the price. You can also hybrid any of this to a foundation that you already love, okay? Hi, hello. I'm trying to read that name. I have a whisker because I'm 45. I feel it. And I'm just going to be honest. So we're going to get it. I have a mole that grows things. This is one of those things. I don't hide anything. There. Oh, do we have one in there? There we go. All right. That's just life. If anybody tells you those don't exist, they do. And that's it. Okay. Fantastic. And last ages. These look tiny, but they are mighty. I will have my blushes, my Frenchie, my correctors for 8 months or more. You can melt them to clean them, take a little toothpick to them. I got videos on it. Maybe it's time for another one. I don't know. Okay, so let's get into main foundation shade. We don't need to put this everywhere. I'm going to bridge my neck to my face, but I'm going to go into Athens and I tap. This is buildable. It's easier to add than to take away. My brush is never sticking together. We're going to even this skin tone out. A good match looks like an eraser. And that is my good match. And I'm going to bring this down my neck. I'm going to use the little end. And we're going to go over this little fella here. And then we're going to tap it. We're going to bridge it down. You see that? It's not a huge difference, but it makes a difference. All right, grabbing a little bit more. We're going to even this skin tone out down here. And I don't put anything else really right here, so I'm able to kind of go ham and just swirly whirly. There's no correctors down here. 80% pigmentation. You get maximum coverage, minimal product. And I'm bringing this down and around my chin here. Okay. So we're gonna, okay. Next month you have prom. What makeup do you recommend? Honestly, I really like creams. So, but if you're going to prom, you probably have a foundation you already really like. I would hybrid it with a good cream contour. I would say Saint because I like it. And I like Saint's contour and bronzer paired with whatever foundation you're already in love with. If you're going to prom, I don't recommend changing everything that day because all makeup has an adjustment period. So don't change everything. Your skin will react. So I say keep your standard foundation and add a different contour and bronzer. And I would say use Saint because it's foundational coverage. So you can put it all on and you can get the coverage you want and you'll love the contour bronzer. Okay. I like Xanadu as the bronzer. Where is it? It's right here. It has shimmer to it. And then there's Bella bronzer. It's so good. Okay. Hello, Roseanne. Okay, we're going in. I'm just going to do some touching up. I don't want to apply too much because you'll be able to tell. Bringing it down my neck. I'm just checking the mirror. And I'm going to apply this in a way where I'm not trying to cover everything. I'm going to do that at the end. This is the only place I'm putting my foundation. I'm not putting it all over my face because everything in here is foundation, so I don't need to put a whole bunch on all over. I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to go to a detail brush. This is my contour brush. And I'm going into Cedar Contour. And I'm pressing this just like this. And we're going to go on my natural shadowing here. So we're going to grab right here. We're going to grab right here. It shouldn't be a big, dramatic, dark color. Especially if you have hyperpigmentation, if you have freckles, you don't want something with red undertones. You want something light and understated with good coverage. So having something with 80% pigmentation that is a similar tone to hyperpigmentation or freckles is key. So I'm just going to press this across my forehead. I'm leaving where this reflecting light is alone. And then I'm going to grab that Xanadu and we're going to pop that here and here. And then we're just going to blend it in. And I'm going in to where my hair is on the thinner side. It never came back after babies. Thank you very much. And there we go. All right. I'm going to take the small end of this brush and I'm going to go into this color. This is Sunlit and this is my concealer. It's too light for my skin. So this is going to be used as a concealer, but also as a brightener. So it works with that light reflecting. And I'm going to press this over my brows where I get red. This is why I do my brows last. Between the brows, and then I'm going to work this in little circles up and out. And this is going to hybrid together really nice. So you get coverage, you get balance, you get dimension. But if you're using a concealer and you think it looks thick and cakey, maybe try something with minimal coverage, or yeah, minimal coverage. Minimal product, high pigmentation, so you can get that coverage you want, but without a pound of makeup. But also if you're using a concealer that looks dry and crepey, prep that area with balm. You could have really dry skin, and dry skin and concealer don't always go hand in hand because it will dehydrate you more. All right, grabbing that big one, and I'm just bringing these together. That's a good looking forehead. Once the hair's down and the other hair's on, this is all gonna come together. All right, going back into that contour, we're gonna press it in, and then I'm gonna go on the top side of my nose. Everybody's nose is shaped different. Go look up different contours on Pinterest, on Google, and look up contour placement for face shape or for different noses, and it'll help you a lot. It's hard for me to explain it when I have this shaped nose, and if you have, you know, some people don't need to contour at all because they have a really well-structured nose. I'm trying to narrow it, and I'm also trying to hide a bump I have. So I'm bridging it together. I'm gonna take that small end, I'm gonna go into that brightening shade again. We're gonna go right down the middle. This is gonna hide the bump. If you have a bit of a crooked nose, this will help straighten it by applying it this way. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. We're just gonna bridge down a little bit. I like sweeping it down with my finger, and then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna push a little up towards my brows. There we go, grabbing some more. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hang it up here above this natural shadow. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna take it, we're gonna press it. And we're gonna underblend this, because if you blend your contour exactly how you want it, then you add bronzer, then you add blush, it's gone. You've blended it away. So you wanna underblend it. So we have our natural shadow, we're going right above it. We want it to, it'll blend down into it. It becomes an accessory to your natural shadowing, but you go just above it. They lay in bed side by side on your face. And this will help structure it out. Don't bring it too far down, especially if you have stuff, okay? Work with it, don't work on it, okay? Keep this in mind. We're gonna apply like I don't have stuff peeking through. It all works out in the end, okay? I'm gonna grab a little bit of bronzer here, and I'm gonna go just above where I put my contour right here. This is all gonna blend together, grabbing a little bit in the end, all right? I'm gonna put this on. I'm just gonna bring this down just a little bit, going up into the temple so it meets. Instead of smearing around the eye, we're just gonna blend them together. Less product. The more makeup you use, the more makeup texture you will have, okay? Oh, you asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT, my husband was doing that this weekend. He hurt his foot, and I was trying to give him some ideas. Now, I'm a non-athlete, so it's hard to listen to what I have to say. I was like, well, why don't you try a rower, try a bike, maybe go swimming. And then he's like, I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT. Guess what ChatGPT told him to do? Everything I did. And I just looked at him, I go, oh, good idea. Good idea. All right, let's slim the jaw a little. We're gonna go in front. If you've been seeing all those videos where people are like, pull the, you don't need to do that. Just go in front of your earlobe and come down the jaw. It's not that deep. Don't make it weird. Just boom, just like that, and then bring the shadow downward. You're just making a new shadow. We're going in front of the ear, bring it down. I recommend waiting to put your earrings on after. That's why this looks the way that it does. It needs a good shining. All right. Boom. Ta-da. And then I'm gonna go right here with what's left on the brush and bridge it down. Ta-da. Ta-da. Blush. We're gonna do blush. Under eyes are always last for me. Okay, I'm gonna take my blush. I always use more than one shade. If you ever do anything, you typically use more than one shade. Lips, blushes always. I've got bronzer here, I've got contour here, but I wanna cover this. So that Frenchy color I put under my eyes, I'm gonna grab some of that. We're gonna put that over my scarring. The peach tones help, and then the pigmentation also helps. It's foundational coverage. Plus, I'm 45. When I rest my face, my apples go away. So this keeps me from looking like a clown. Okay, it's better even than my friend. You know how many, my husband has, I think 3 or 4 GPT bots. They're annoying, and I argue with them all the time. All the time. Okay, so for today, I'm gonna use 3. And it's because I always use Frenchie on my apples, no matter what. I don't even consider that part of my blush. So I'm gonna go in with Nude. It's been a favorite of mine. I'm gonna pop that up here, just like that. Then we're gonna go into a color called Dahlia because it's spring. We're gonna grab a little bit of Dahlia and I'm gonna pop that right there. Boop, with that nude blush color. All right, I'm gonna take my shape brush. We're just gonna start stippling. Now, because I did all that correcting earlier, stippling on your cheeks, if your stuff is where my stuff is, wherever you put corrector, you're stippling your makeup on, okay? Then I'm coming down to my apples here, try to smile a little. There we go. This is all gonna wrap up when I do my under eyes. It's amazing what happens when under eye goes on. Just gonna say, I don't wanna toot my own horn. Okay, you have a question. One of the other artists was saying she thinks Astoria actually contours and starts to look kind of muddy or something on the face. What's my review on that? I think contours are just as personal as your main shade. So if you're using, some people really can't go that cool. I have a natural warmth olive tone to me, so when I use Astoria, I get the same thing. You may not have that issue because of your skin tone. Astoria could be what's best for you. It's kind of like using indigo on hyperpigmentation. It just pulls it through. Indigo is one of our really dark contours, and I used to love it until my hyperpigmentation started getting darker and it started grabbing it. I think everything is personal to skin tone. It's kind of like plum versus nude. Those are two, let me find it here. So I don't use plum because it looks like a bruise on me. Where's plum? Where is it? It's in here somewhere. What one are you? That's nude. Nude and plum are really, really similar. But plum looks like a bruise on there. Plum, and then there's nude. They're so similar. Do you see that? They're so ridiculously similar. But plum looks like a bruise. When I put it on my cheek, I look like I got knocked in the face. But if I use nude, it doesn't happen. And so that's what, okay, so what you're basically saying is, what's my favorite kind of contour for my skin tone? Because I think me and you are similar. So I pick my contour based off of my hyperpigmentation. So, I mean, stone is one of my favorites when I'm really, really fair. And I feel like I'm very, very fair right now. But cedar is really good with hyperpigmentation. Stone also. If somebody's really fair and you think that bronzer could take them to orange, happens all the time, I always recommend stone and olive and ash. Those four contours all work really well with hyperpigmentation, and that's what makes me pick it. Also, this was an argument I got into with my friend on Friday. We had a very exciting day. We went for lunch because I needed to pick her brain on how to ask for sponsorships and ask for things. I'm not good at doing it because I've never done it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call my friend. This is what she did for a living for years. I'm going to pick her brain. So we were at this wonderful restaurant that's local here, and we went to have lunch, and I could pick her brain, and I gave her the heads up like, hey, I have a purpose for this. Fun, but also I need to talk to you. And while we were outside at their little fire getting ready to eat, they asked us to come in and take pictures at their bar for advertising. And while we're doing, like, this was just wild. Never in my life has this happened, but it was very cool. She says, and you've got a blonde and a brunette. Now, I find myself to be a brunette. I think I'm a brunette. Am I not a brunette anymore? Because I gotta make a new hair appointment, but I think I'm a brunette. She thinks I'm a blonde, but she has very, very dark hair. Anyways, that was my beef. But when I went from being, I mean, I was platinum blonde before, if you've been around. Who was here when I was platinum? And I would use indigo. When I went brunette, I could not use indigo. It didn't, my hair, also, it didn't work with my hair color. So hair color does play into contours also. It's basically long story long. Your hair color also factors into it. I think blondes can wear indigo a little bit better than I can, and brunettes, I feel like you have to work with it. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. Let me know if there's more questions. Okay, let's do our under eyes because it is the best part of the makeup. It's gonna bring this all together so much. I'm gonna go back to my shape brush, but I'm gonna go onto the small end. I do feel like they changed the full shape of the shape brush. So when it went from being silver to gold, they did slim this down, but I do find the more you use it, the more it rounds. But on the old shape brush, this end was too long. So they had a blend brush, and I preferred the blend brush because I liked this end. The gold shape brush, as you use it, it'll fluff down into a ball. And then they made this side smaller, and it makes me perfectly happy because I had a friend who used to rip her brushes apart and combine them. All right, we're gonna go in with this color here. This is Sunlit. I've been using it all over my face, and we're gonna use this to highlight some areas. We're gonna go where light reflects. Light reflects off the chin, and this is just gonna give me some extra coverage, just like that. But it's also gonna reflect light, give the illusion of reflecting light, get those Cupid bow area because it's so pretty. And I did my nose and my forehead, and now we're gonna grab a little, and you see this shine. Let the shine be your guide when it comes to your brightening, when it comes to your concealer, because your concealer is typically lighter. I'm gonna go right here. This has yellow in it, so it's gonna help with my discoloration. We're gonna go up the orbital bone above my blush, but staying outside of that trough, okay? Then we're gonna go up into that inner corner, get that coverage. We're stippling this, and we're gonna bring this around, bringing it up. Again, another reason why we're doing our eyebrows last. And then we're just gonna blend this out. And as we're tapping it, it's pushing it, and then we're gonna bring it to that soft tissue. The soft tissue, you should never have cream too soft. Cream to crease, avoid, 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 okay? So, I need no makeup, hun. Thank you so much, hun. But, Lynn, okay, Lynn usually it's like a guy in here. Lynn, is your husband on your thing? I never said I needed makeup. I like makeup. I love the ritual of makeup. I love the look of makeup. I love how I feel in makeup. If you don't, then don't wear makeup. You don't have to do this, and you don't have to be here. But Lynn's probably gone by now. But anybody here who has somebody like Lynn pipe it in, you never need to listen to what someone else tells you to do with your makeup if you feel good in it. Oh, Lynn's here. Okay, you are a guy, Lynn. I just thought it was a girl's name. Sorry about that. Lynn, there's always one of you on these lives, and I love it. I love it. And let's have a friendly conversation about this, Lynn. Nobody that you run into anywhere, at your door, at the supermarket, at the post office, driving down the road, is wearing their makeup for you. We're wearing it for us. And I think the sooner you realize that and accept that and move on with that, the happier you'll be, and the better you'll be at finding somebody who doesn't wear makeup because you don't want somebody who wears makeup. I always find it funny because some guys, maybe not Lynn, who hopefully isn't still here watching a makeup video and should be wondering why they are popping into a makeup video to pop in and tell me I don't need makeup. Never said I was ugly. Just feel good in it, all right? So, some guys love when they see a girl at the bar and they're like, oh, wow, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She looks nice. She did work to look that way, by the way, no matter what, okay? They thought something when they're doing it, okay? You thought you were giving a compliment. You're right. However, if you see a woman who has done her makeup, telling her what she shouldn't have done isn't the best way to do it. I appreciate it, and it's a friendly conversation. However, I feel really good in my makeup. And the work I put into my makeup, I appreciate. And so if somebody likes me without it, that's great. But a lot of guys see a girl who's wearing makeup and wants it, but then they get upset with the makeup. It's like, but you picked it. Like, and that's why I tell my husband, he doesn't mind the whole makeup thing. He always says, I want to leave at this time. How much time do you need to get ready? that is a guy who accepts it. This is who I am. This is what I do. All right, we're going to finish the other eye, but look at the difference in the eye makeup, and then we're going to set it. All right. All right. Makeup is a ritual. This is our me time. This is the time where we get to focus on us. I mean, we don't even get to wipe our butts without considering somebody on the other side of that door. This is all for us. All right. We're going in. I'm going in on the other side, but do you see the way that just a little under eye is just pulls it together and finishes it off? All right, we're going into that shine, and then we're going to go up and then up. Can you imagine working on a room? Okay, we're remodeling a room, we're painting it, I hang a picture, I paint a wall, you know, I do all this work, and then somebody walks in and says, oh, I like the way it was before. Ugh, balloon popped. All right, balloon popped. I'm like, I did all this work and wanted it to look nice, and you're telling me I should have just never done it. Do you see? I don't know, Lynn's probably gone by now. But we all have a Lynn in our life. It could be our mother-in-law, it could be our father-in-law, it could be somebody. We all have a Lynn. And as long as you feel confident what you did that day, those Lyns in your life just don't care. I love when we get ourselves somebody, because there's always one. There's always one. All right, I'm going to set this. And if you have dry skin, do not use powder. I feel like a lot of people use powder as part of their ritual. If you have dry skin, you're going to make it look drier by adding too much powder. If you have mature skin, if you have large pores, do not bake. Don't add all that powder and all that stuff, but setting spray helps. All right, film forming spray is really good if you're worried about it moving. I really like Blue Marble, and I may use that, but I have oily skin. Okay. I understand what Lynn was trying to say, but I need Lynn and a lot of guys to understand it's not for them. Appreciate it, but I'd rather him tell me my makeup looks nice. But can't always get what you want, right? All right, so we're gonna take all right, we are gonna take the Porefessionals by Benefit. This is a super setter spray, and it has a really nice fine mist, and I really like it for even sandwiching. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna spray. Like, do you hear how fine that mist is? That is a very, I mean, I slather myself with this stuff, okay? I have oily skin. If you have dry skin, all you need is this. Take your brush and then press it into your dry skin. Press that setting spray in to your dry skin, just like you would do with a powder, but get away from powders if you have dry skin on your makeup. But I'm oily, so I spot treat, okay? Oh, Pam Anderson. We already know my Pam Anderson, okay? Oh, frosted lips. Saint does. Saint does. Okay, go get the Diamonds Are Forever. That'll add a frost to your lips. It's really good, but I just had it. They do have some that add frost to your lips, and I'm gonna find it, but it's so pretty. There's some that they've had. I need to pull this up because I know there's some that add frostiness, but Diamonds Are Forever adds a really nice frost to your lips. Okay, I'm pulling up my Saint stuff so I can tell you. All right, there's always something to take and something to leave when it comes to, my tummy's growling. When it comes to makeup, watch all the videos, watch all of them and learn from it. All right, so I want to go to, gosh, they have some that are just frosty and stunning, but it's always so hard to find which ones those are. Gosh, they used to have one that was perfect, but you can add Diamonds Are Forever onto it, excuse me, anything. La Cienega adds a little bit of shimmer slash tiny bit of frost. Where is it? I wish they would come back with, I think it's, is it Boardwalk? Wait, oh, Biscuits. I just jabbed my finger into one. This one, is it still available? What one is this one? to show you what diamonds are forever because it's so hard. There was one that they had that added the perfect kind of frost. These are all the discontinued, so color me a butthead here. There was one that added just the best frost. Where is it? I wish it would come back. Maui. Maui Wowie. They need to bring it back. Is this thing falling? I'm having a really hard time with this new thing. It's an amazing light, way better light. Okay, let's set my makeup. I am gonna take blotting dust. This stuff has flecks in it. So I'm gonna spot treat where I'm oily. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush, flick off the excess. I get very oily up here above my brows, all right? And then when I feel like it's empty, I'll bring it across to set. I don't like powder to crease either, which will be right here, so I don't add a lot. Okay, it's that first spray serum. Okay, the truffle spray. I haven't seen it before. But I haven't been on social media a lot of, anyways, we don't need to get into why. All right, taking some more powder. I get really greasy here, so I'm gonna start at my temple. I'm gonna go right back here because my phone, whenever I answer my phone, because you know, iPhones, they sit flat on your face, it's gonna pick up your makeup, not magic. And then when I feel like my brush is empty, I'll go right here on my grease ball zone, and then when it's super empty, I'll go under my eyes. And I get a little bit of setting, but I still get that luminosity that's not greasy. Okay. Oh, Pam Anderson lip. I'll do that right now because it is my favorite right now. Didn't I do it last time? Somebody said so. All right, setting where I'm oily. And you can do one of two things. Check your texture. If you have texture, take your setting spray and respray. It'll absorb the excess. I'm gonna take film forming because I have a meeting and I'm gonna be in meetings for a couple of hours. All right, so I'm gonna take this and this is going to film form my makeup, but it's also gonna pick up powder texture. So there we go. See that one? Not a fine miss. I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm gonna press that setting spray in. And this is gonna keep my makeup on, and now I can go through and I can do my brows and I could do my lips. All right, we're gonna go in with my brows really quick. I'm gonna use Oak, which I used on my eyes. I keep it in, I use two colors here. So I have Trust and I have Oak. If you like those hair flicks, this is what I would say. Get a setting spray. I'm gonna use the Plush and Prep because it's nice, it's hydrating. It reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury. We're gonna get the brush wet. I always wipe it. I don't know why, but I do. And then I'm gonna go into Oak, which will just make it a little bit deeper. And then we're gonna go into this front corner here because for me, it's like a triangle. So we're gonna make this a straight line right here into my natural brow. All right, grabbing a little bit more, and I always tap it off. Sunshine State is so pretty. Okay, then I'm gonna take and I'm gonna flick the front, and we're just gonna square this off. We're just adding little hair flicks to the front. And we're blending in that bottom line like that. All right, and then I like a clean arch. So I'm gonna come about a quarter of the way in. I'm gonna follow my natural arch here. And then we're gonna bring it down and extend the tail. All right, filling in as we go. And I extend my tail pretty deep. Then we're gonna take this little spoolie thingy. Now, not everybody likes a structured brow like I do, and we all know I like a good structured brow. And I'm gonna straighten right here a little bit with some flicks. Then I'm gonna take my spoolie and I'm gonna comb up, over, and out. I don't have a bunch of, look at how nice that looks. It's nice, it's clean, it is structured. Everybody has a preference on how they like their hair. If you just have a few spots you need to fill in, do that, okay? Do you, your face, do what you want with it. But I like a good, bold boss brow. Because Lynn won't be able to tell me what to do if I've got my boss brow on. Maybe I'm just sensitive. I'm hypersensitive about a lot of things. Maybe it's a stay-at-home mom thing. Because I don't consider myself a working mom. Even though this is a job for me. This does pay some bills. All right? And so I get a little sensitive about like stay-at-home moms and how I have no value in this family because I don't bring in what a working mom would. So I get super hypersensitive, especially if somebody's like, what do you do all day? Don't ask me that. Never ask a stay-at-home mom what she does all day. She does everything. Every little thing that works is because she did one little dumb thing that made everything work. And it is. That's what we do. We do little dumb things that make everything work. Okay, I'm super glowy. I know. This is my favorite Pamela Anderson lip combo. Sunshine State, I love it. It just doesn't last on my lips very long. I'm going to use Beauty. I just did a short on this combo. And these lip colors are currently available, which makes me happy because for a long time they weren't, and it made me mad. Okay, you have that frost, and I recommend Saint too. Okay, yes, yay. Okay, I do try to teach them. I do a lot more here. My plate is so full, and I'm not great at super responding, but then I will come on here and talk about some things. Okay. All right. Oh, send me the link on my Instagram. Yes, please. Okay. Okay. I'm going to contour my lips. So I don't do lip fillers. I think it's dying out. But I kind of pride myself on fuller natural lips. Okay. So we're going to take that detail brush that we used to contour our face. So my first son, I wasn't home and available to because I did work as a single mom for a long time. Met my husband when my son was 10, and I worked for a few more years after that before we started having kids, and we had that talk, like, if I want to have kids, I won't stay home. Anyways, it was a whole talk. Anyways, they will remember, and kids are a long game because parents aren't people until their kids become parents. It's a long game, and it's a long game. So long. All right, we're grabbing some of this contour. I'm using Cedar, and I'm going to go under my lip here and create a shadow. Okay? Little shadow. Not a lot. Don't go all the way around. I know that there is a Saint artist, and she goes all the way around, and it's not wrong, but it's just not me. Okay. If I had to use one brush, you like your makeup a little bit heavier on the fly from Saint, which one would you pick? Pilot brush. The Pilot brush. I should do my makeup with the Pilot brush next week. I keep forgetting about that brush. Pilot brush. All right, now we're going to take that contour. We're going to go and do a Gomez Adams. All right, going right across the top of the lip. Adding a little tiny shadow. You see that? You see how it just flips the top? Then we're going to take this small and we're going to go into that yellow color again. And I'm going to go right here. I don't do the all the way around the lips. I want contrast and I want structure, like my life. I'm a helicopter. If you didn't catch on, I'm a helicopter mom. My husband, when we're at the pool, sends me little helicopter emojis. The Pilot brush would be my top pick. Let me see if I have it just laying around right here, because I did just clean all my brushes. Like I did it. This is from doing makeup. Let me see, where are you, Pilot brush? I don't even know where it is right now. I have a Pilot brush somewhere, and I'm not seeing it on hand. Oh, wait, here it is. So this would be my one and done brush. This one is basically the 3D brush. You get this little pointy end, and it's really good for contouring. It's great for your nose. It's a great under eye brush. You get this nice round end, but then inside, let me zoom out. I'm too zoomed in for this. Then inside you get an eyeshadow brush. Oh, I didn't clean the inside. Anyway, but this is my favorite brush because this you can contour your nose with. Also, you can use this under your eyes. It's whatever. This is a true multitasker brush, is the Pilot brush. And it took us a good long bit to get Saint to release this to customers. And they have a black one. This one was a free one that I got from Saint to promote. And it is so good. I mean, I did a call to action video with this brush because it was so good. And I told people, share this, make a comment, like it. I'm sending all of my stats to Saint. And there was quite a few other artists that did the same thing. And we sent all of our stats and then they released it. And it was so good. But this would be the one and done. All right. Next, checking to see my time because we know I end up here for a really long time. Okay, so we've contoured, we've structured our lips. We have contrast on the outside. If you go all the way around, it really depends on the shape of your lips. That's it. Okay, we're gonna go into the color Brownie. Honestly, just get a darker lip liner. I kind of want to do Renaissance, but maybe I'll do, I don't know, a darker color. Mulberry would be another really pretty one. It's it's the first time seeing something this good. Yeah, yay. Okay, so structure on your lips. Don't outer line. Everybody can see the go outer line. You know what? Go outer line your lips and then go get a mirror and you will see it doesn't matter because you're not always smiling and taut where you don't see it as much. Sometimes you're just listening. People can see when you outer line your lips. So shadow it instead. Shadow it instead. All right, the other good color that I would say is cinnamon. These three are really good lip liners for this Pamela Anderson style look. Now, let's be honest. Pamela Anderson's lip, okay, don't do black. Well, some people can't do black. I don't know what color your skin is. I can't. But Pamela Anderson did a dark outline and a light fill-in. I remember that because I used to do it because of Pamela Anderson. She was also the reason I had no eyebrows. I was blonde. Like, my dad was a big Baywatch fan. My dad actually got to meet the cast of Baywatch. This is just my fun facts video today. But, okay, but my dad was in the Coast Guard, and my mom knew my dad loved Baywatch because we'd watch Weather Channel or Baywatch, and he loved the Hasselhoff. Oh my God. He even had the strap for his glasses like Hasselhoff, okay? And my mom submitted one of his rescue stories to Baywatch in a contest. And if you won the contest, they made an episode about your rescue. If you didn't win, they had the top 10 rescues flown down to meet the cast. And my dad was in the top 10. He didn't get the win, but he got to go meet the cast. He bought Pamela Anderson a tennis bracelet. He's never even bought my mom a tennis bracelet. They're divorced now. Surprise. But he did go to give it to her, and I guess she wasn't very nice to him. So he gave it to somebody else. Anyways, he got to meet, I think, Carmen Electra, the Hasselhoff. I mean, who doesn't want to meet the Hoff? Ugh. Anyways, she's the reason why we had dark liner and light lips. So we're doing a hybrid of Pamela Anderson, how she would have done that today. Okay, what is the best way to clean Saint brushes? Than the brush cleaner. So there is this stuff, which is a great spot treat. To be fair, this is primarily how I clean my brushes because the whole sink thing is you have to have backup brushes. Like, don't clean one brush if you're going to go do the sink thing. Saint has a soap, and it's a phenomenal soap. I would recommend going on Amazon and getting one of those suction cup silicone pads that sit in your sink. Don't keep it in the water. You never want your warm water to go into your handle. One, it'll grow bacteria. Plus, if the water's hot, it'll take the glue and melt it, and then your brush is trash, and it'll start falling apart. You don't want to super grind them, but Saint has, and I wish I had one right here, but it has a bar of soap in it, and we sell refills for it, but it has a bar of soap, but it has a silicone pad, and it's in the soap. So what you do is you get it wet. I get the soap wet, and then you rub the silicone pad on the soap, and then you brush it. You never apply the brush onto the soap because bacteria. And then you can clean them that way, and then lightly rinse them in lukewarm water, not hot water, not super warm water, lukewarm. And I like having a bigger pad that has different size grids for scrubbing, but that's what I would do. It's good to do it as often as possible. I don't clean my brushes enough, but I use the spray, great for touch up, because when you use soap, it just takes days to dry. And I don't got the time for that. All right, we're gonna use Brownie because I like my lip color to be a little more cool toned. And so we're gonna take Brownie, it's this color right here, and this is a satin finish, which means it doesn't set. So the silk finishes go on super silky smooth, and then they set. The satin finishes go on really satiny soft, but they have the movability, they have the blendability, and you don't have to hurry and hustle. So we're gonna line our lips. I always hold mine to the side and I kiss the edge. not outside. So we are gonna live on the edge. I don't worry about going all the way to my corner, but I get that edge lined. You wanna go as close to the edge as possible without going off. Okay, and this part will make your lips look small, but structured, okay? Yes, with the so it fell apart. If you let the water go in, it can loosen up that glue. It's a sensitive little sucker, but I would recommend not using it in water. Don't grind on it. I would rather spend the extra time light scrubbing than quick scrubbing with grind. But yeah, it can happen. It happens with a lot. There's a lot of those brush cleaners where you clip them in and they spin them in water. Really bad for your brushes. All right, going in on the bottom. And I'm just gonna line at the edge, getting that edge, and I'm nice and dark. This is a true Pamela Anderson look right here. Okay, she liked a nice dark brown lip liner and then a light inside. All right, then I'm gonna put these back. I have every color, they're so great. Okay, I love their pencils. And then I'm just gonna buff this down a little bit. And if you want a true Pamela Anderson, go get yourself, gosh, if you have Hollywood, which is one of the lip and cheek colors. Do I have that in here? Frenchie's a good one. I just like mine on the more pink side. Hollywood would be a really good fill-in color here, but I'm going to take a Beauty Society lipstick. These are refillable. They have a magnetic closure, and this is the color Smitten. It's newly released, and it's a really pale, pretty pink. And then you can fill in, okay? This would be a Pamela Anderson look. Okay? I use my finger to just buff things out and go in. Okay. Maybe you got some bad stuff. But your brush cleaner is not good. Okay. You don't want to get them wet with the soap. You really don't have to get them wet. Get the soap wet, get the thing wet, and then grind into the soap with that little pad. It has a little thing that goes over your finger, and you grind into it. And then you can start scrubbing the brush. All right, so this to me would be a very true with the dark, but I'm gonna buff into that liner and let it blend into that pink with my finger. I don't use a brush. This works just fine, okay? And this is a really nice neutral pink. And then no lip gloss that says it's a plumper. I'm sorry, it's a plumper. It's just a burner, and your lips are hanging off because they hurt so bad. I've never found one. I've tried a lot of plumpers and it just doesn't work. But this is it's called Worth It Lip Plumper. I just call it a gloss. It does have a cinnamon bite. If you're allergic to cinnamon, don't get it. The bite is short. It's not gonna last forever, but I do like to give, there is a bite to it. All right, this is the color Call Me, and it just bumps up the pink to this, and it's pretty. And this adds just a touch of hydration. I find it to be not super glossy. It's almost like a nice lipstick, but I put this on over top, and this is where I stop. If you want to add frostiness to it, I would use the Diamonds Are Forever over top, maybe. Maybe I should try that, and I should just wipe this off. Should I wipe this off and try it with that? Because it could be really pretty, but it doesn't add a pink the way that this does. Okay, I'm gonna try a light wipe of the lip plumper, and I'll go over and fill in with this for that frostiness that we were talking about. Then you take Diamonds Are Forever. I mean, I'm almost out. I have two. I have multiples. And then you can take this over top, and it will make, I go over the Cupid's bow, and this will make it frosty. This will add the frost you're looking for, and it'll make any lip color frosty. That's what I would recommend. I'm not a big fan of the combo, so we're gonna go back to this. Both are pretty, okay? But I really like the color of the Call Me. I like it for touch-ups. It's really good. I like that if you feel like this falls a little too pale, this adds that extra bit of pink that's not wildly pink. This is my meeting makeup. This is my Smart Girl makeup. And now we can go in and add our Smart Girl hair. But this is my makeup. This is minimal makeup, and my stuff, makeup will always look like makeup, but it should look like good makeup. But this is my makeup. Looks like makeup, but it's good makeup. And if I ever need to touch up, I just keep one of these brushes in my car, and I do this throughout the day. I don't add more makeup. I just let the oil absorb into this. All right, we're gonna put in my halo. So I wear fake hair. Middle schoolers laughed at me about it. This is my halo, all right? I go Halos by Jess is where I get them, Halo Couture. This is a layered halo. She color matched me. It's a whole like very detailed process, but I go and I part it down the middle sort of, then I come a little back. I don't go too, I get a headache if it's about back here where your soft spot used to be, so I come a little forward, but not too forward. And then I go down below the crown. Is that the crown? I don't know. And then we're gonna bring this up and we're gonna twist it. And then I'm gonna take a pencil to it to hold it. We're gonna improvise here because I forgot my clip. And then we're gonna take the halo. So with the halos, turn that, there we go. With the halos, they come with a little fishing line. Okay, and they just hang off. We're gonna put this in, and again, do whatever makes you feel more confident, but my hair is thin, fine, and this makes me feel really good. Then you take this pencil out, then you get a little comb like this, and you can comb it, comb down the string, and then you can take this little comb and you can go around the top of the halo and pull out any hair that's tucked behind it to sandwich it. So you'll have some hair under and some hair on top, and then you comb it in. And this is why a color match is important. And this is my fake hair. And so I'm a side parter sometimes. So what you can do is turn it so that it's shifted. So it starts back here and ends up here. And you can turn it. You could do a little side pony if you want. I use the heck out of this thing so much, and it's real hair, and you shampoo it. I've done it blonde. I had one, but the blonde, and then I dyed it brown when I went brown, and it just ended up destroying it, and then I outgrew it. So my hair actually grew beyond it, but you can't tell which hair is which because I got my hair done, and then I send the pictures in, and they will match it to your hair. So this is me. There's some blind in there, hot dog. It is time for me to get my hair done. I had to cancel it due to some family emergencies. But anyways, you can middle part it. That's what the kids are doing these days, but you really can't tell where it ends. Okay. But if you ever look up Jessica Hollack, Hollack on Instagram, she has a link. She has all different shapes and sizes. She has toppers. This makes me feel good. My makeup, my everything. I don't care. And a lot of people just don't even know. You can't really see. Hair has natural bend to it, but it is in here, right there. And then we just fold it over. And you can't even, nobody knows. And if they do, they'll tell you you look nice because they're your friend. But I wash it, I condition it, I can curl it, I can blow dry it. It's good. But I can have it tightly curled, I can curl it into my hair. It's whatever you want. There you go. And that's my smart makeup with pores. So I did link on this video the Porefessionals primer and the setting spray. I think they're a really good combo if you're worried about your pores showing. But I also feel like using the right color makeup is going to help hide your pores. Using too much makeup is going to accentuate, not enhance, because here's the deal. I don't use illuminator. My pores they're holes, and everybody has pores. Some are just bigger than others, but they can create bends in the skin, obviously, because it's a hole, which can look like a fleck of dewiness. Like I can have that dewy glow that is there because of the structure of the texture of our skin. So you can have it work with you and against you. It all depends on how you're applying your makeup. I can make this makeup look like trash, and I've done it before. I did half my makeup too much and it looked rough, and then lighter. Less is more. If you ever feel like you've over applied, just take a little brush and just stipple and blend it down. But you can spot do this. You can have it be a little heavier down here, a lot lighter up here. It's your face. You know how it's structured. But sometimes just taking a small brush like this and just tapping over your pores can help reduce the look of the pores. Don't add powder to hide your pores. Powder will enhance your pores and make them look really dry, and it'll make your skin look really mature. And so sometimes taking another cream product really lightly over it will help hide it too. Just be careful. I would take, if you have regular concealer and you're trying to make it work, go get yourself an Aquaphor stick, and you can rub it onto your finger and then mix some of that concealer in, and you can maybe try that. But there's ways to play with your makeup. Just because you're a grown-up doesn't mean you don't get to play with your makeup. But look at this eyeshadow. It came together. It's 2 colors, butterscotch and oak. You can add whatever shimmer you want, but it's really just butterscotch and oak. It's so pretty, and I used oak on my brows, and it's so pretty. But play with your makeup. Make your makeup fun again. Try a different technique. Try whatever you want. Okay, that's it. I will not be here next Monday. I have a makeup appointment I have to do. If she cancels, I'll be here. Hopefully she doesn't. But that's my makeup. That's my hair. This is what I do to feel smart. And I'm going to go post a picture once I get my outfit on. So, because I can't go in my PJs. But we're here to talk about makeup and a little bit of hair. But if you have questions, message me about the hair. I can send you her stuff. There's pictures involved. It gets very detailed on what you want. She makes sure you get what you want. They are non-returnable, and they are an investment. I will say that this hair is an investment piece. These aren't. You can find them on Amazon. This one's not. I haven't tried the Amazon ones. This is an investment piece. So if that's what you're looking for. I have done little twist ups with my hair with a banana clip. You can do a lot of different things with it. It's very well hidden in the hair. The only time it almost fell off was when I was doing something with physical therapy and I was laying on my back and I felt it start lifting. Okay, so that's it. I will see you in 2 weeks. I will be posting a lot of videos over the next 2 weeks since I'm not live on Monday, but I will be talking about this primer and the setting spray together. I will do a short on the mascara application. I did a long form video. I need to do a short on it. So I will be creating over the next 2 weeks, since I won't be here next week. I promise. Have